Hello you guys, and welcome to your weekly card pull. Alexa B Alchemy here, and today I'm going to be doing a reading for the week of February 6th, 2023. This specific reading is designed and channeled for all of my Taurus, so if you have Taurus placements in your natal chart, especially your sun, your moon, your rising, or your north node, this reading is for you. So today I am pulling from potentially a couple of decks. I am starting out with the Sacred Creators Oracle deck. This one came through really strongly as being one that I wanted to pull from for you guys. So the first question I am asking the cards for you all this week is, what guidance would be helpful for you in this upcoming week? Maybe what energies can you expect? What things will be helpful for you to keep in mind? We are dropping things left and right. Okay, well, first thing, straightforward, overthinking can spoil the magic. So I think for some of you, your relationship to your thoughts, your narratives, etc., what you are thinking. I'm getting some air energy. We're gonna be looking at that. So, okay. All right, my dear Taurus. So I also pulled for you a card that encourages you to shift the way to new potential. A card that asks you, what is your honest truth? And this card I pulled, I believe it was in reverse. I honestly, it kind of flew out. So I'll give you both messages and you can tap into what resonates with you. That card is about the now, being present with what is and what is going on at this present moment. So my dear, lovely, lovely Taurus, I'm gonna start out with the first one, with overthinking can spoil the magic. This is the very first card in the deck. If you notice at the bottom, it says 00. So first things first, glad that this one popped out first. I really feel like for some of you, my dear Taurus, your thoughts are something that you're gonna need to inspect in this upcoming week. Your thoughts are always important. Your narratives are always important. Your narratives really dictate how you view life and how you experience it. So that will probably be something for you to consider. When I do pull this card though, again, because it's the first one in the deck, this has a really big Aries energy to it. There's a lot of this like finding new beginnings, new experiences, setting out on your own path maybe. For some of you, I feel like this may come out in the way of following your intuition, but even if your intuition doesn't necessarily align with the people that you are surrounded with, and maybe that's a little bit challenging. There's a level of courage that I think you're being asked to carry, especially if you want to start new projects. So there's definitely this positivity that you're being encouraged to come forward with. If you've been overthinking, especially again with the concept of new projects, new connections, new relationships, if you've been overthinking them or you're in your head about them, that heady space can actually, okay, the logical, rational mind is a really beautiful gift, but sometimes it can stop us from moving forward on things that we feel drawn to on a very deep soul level. So I do feel like for some of you, my dear Taurus, this week will be a really good one to kind of create a level of a fresh start and to release the things that are standing in the way of you following through on whatever your intuitive pings are. That does, honestly, that I feel like I want to go into reading this one next, but what is your honest truth? This card's really encouraging you to get real with yourself about what you truly believe. Again, this may be different than what other people are believing or thinking, but I think taking some time to get centered with yourself and what your thoughts are will be really, really beneficial for you guys for this upcoming week. We did just have a full moon in Leo yesterday on the 5th. So for some of you, you may, well, actually for most of you, probably may notice this level of emotionality or maybe reactivity that either you or other people around you are experiencing right now. If that's the case, that is totally normal. The full moon in Leo is a time when you are asked to bring your honest truth forward, to let your light shine, to let yourself be seen and be really seen by the other people in your life and your path. So I think for some of you, there's a degree of like, maybe you've been hiding your goals from yourself or from the world around you because you are afraid of what people will think, how they're going to react to it. And my dear, this week you are encouraged to not let those thoughts about other people's thoughts or not let their thoughts get in the way of you following through with the things that feel true for you. Again, I pulled the card that encourages you to shift the way to new potential. And this is not only about yourself, this also has to do with other people. So if you want to open up new possibilities and new doors for yourself, you have to be willing to take certain risks. Now, with this card, because it has a component there's an element with this card that has to do with you and an element that has to do with the collective. Right now, the sun is in Aquarius, which has a lot to do with the collective. Aquarian energy is really good at stepping out from the self, taking sort of like a healthy detached view and assessing what are the needs of the collective and how can I meet those. So with this card, I think it's really kind of complementing that sun placement of the sun in Aquarius right now, for you to really acknowledge where are the places in your life where you can grow, where are the places in your life that you can shift the way that you're showing up, and knowing that those shifts and changes that you make will benefit the collective and will benefit other people as well. I think for some of you, maybe you've been feeling skeptical about following through on your intuition, or skeptical about following through on your own personal pings, maybe wondering, is this going to benefit other people? That's a really big theme, honestly, for this full moon, is knowing where your authentic light will benefit others, or taking the time to really address that. So I think for some of you, really what it comes down to is be willing to make that change and know that that will shift not only your path or your journey, but also the paths and journeys of the people around you in a really beneficial way. I did also pull the card that has everything to do with timing, divine timing, the now. This card does acknowledge a level of being either in the present or needing to be in the present. Honestly, when I bought this card deck, this was because I bought the deck and I did like a shuffle for myself. This was the first card that I pulled, and I pulled this card 2 times in a row. So for me, I love this card because it's to me, it has a very, very strong, very potent energy with this importance of being in the present. And when this card comes up, it does encourage you and remind you that you are in the right place. You are in the right place at the right time, even if you feel like maybe you haven't been. So there's this level of like divine timing that I feel like you have been blessed with, or that is around your experiences. Maybe for some of you, with this first card about, new beginnings and new possibilities, maybe for some of you, there have been some doors that are opening up or have been opened. And right now, like, this is the perfect time to take advantage of those. So there is definitely this like a sense of maybe like time might be speeding up, or you might feel this inertia. I feel like there's this like inertia that you might be feeling, and that is completely normal. I'm so sorry. I honestly can't remember. I feel like this card was pulled in reverse and then it got flipped. So for some of you, if the reverse message applies, or maybe just a caution to keep in mind if not. The flip side of this card is that there might be some feelings of urgency that you are experiencing, maybe some frustrations or impatience, or feeling that things are moving too slowly, or feeling that things are not moving at the right speed. So either way, what will benefit you the most, my dear Taurus, is allowing yourself to align with the notion or the belief or the idea that things are unfolding in divine timing. It is the right time as things are happening, and you don't need to stress so much about whether or not things are going to unfold on the right timeline, because there are. So there is a need for you, in any case, any way that this card is pulled, there's a need for you to trust that you have not missed your moment. You have not missed the magic that is unfolding for you, my dears. I think the overthinking can spoil the magic. Your relationship to time and the way that you're thinking about it, I think that might be a big theme for you this week to look at and to acknowledge that if you're spending too much time up in your head trying to analyze the timing in which things are unfolding, or the seemingly logical way in which things are unfolding, it might spoil the magic that is there for you. I did also feel called to pull one card out of the Crystal Spirits deck, and I literally just did this in the middle of this reading, and I pulled in reverse for you the card of Labradorite. This is my favorite card from this deck, and this card comes with a primary message that it's important for you to release the need for certainty and make room instead for magic. Now, in the reverse, this can definitely imply that this might be something that you have resistance to or some shadow with. So I do feel like for some of you, my dear Taurus, you're really attached to your thoughts about how things need to unfold. You're really attached to your thoughts about what the timeline is that these things need to happen on, and you can release those attachments. You don't need to be so attached to them, because those are ultimately probably getting in the way of you actually stepping forward and taking action in the ways that you may want to take action. Okay, my dear Taurus, so from the tarot deck, the Queen of Pentacles came up for you, and this card comes up anytime that you maybe looking at things in your life that you want to have a level of practicality with. There's definitely some level of creature comfort and security. This is a very Taurus card. Honestly, Taurus energy is all about creature comfort. So for some of you, this may feel like a very honest card, but I do feel like for some of you, getting clear on what your relationship is to safety and security and what makes you feel safe and secure. I think for some of you, okay, I think I see where this is going. I feel like there's a level of control that you might be trying to have over your life or your situations, and that control may be coming through in the way of wanting things to unfold in a certain way or within a certain amount of time, and really like overthinking about things. And I think for some of you, it'll be really important this week to get back in touch with your a comfort that can come from having faith and having trust that magic is able to unfold in your situation, whatever that may be. So again, with the card of Labradorite, which was pulled in the reverse, with the card of Overthinking Can Spoil the Magic, both of these cards have themes that have to do with magic. So there's definitely some really amazing gifts that you have, amazing opportunities, amazing doors that are opening or have been opened. And for some of you, maybe you're over-relying on creature comforts, or you're over-relying on this level of like a desire to feel a certain way, to feel a certain security and a certain safety. And I think for some of you, the security and the safety, the Queen of Pentacles, I think the security and the safety that you are being encouraged to find is actually going to be in the present and what you have available to you, your own honest truth, what you know to be true, what you know for yourself. So I think for some of you, just spend some time this week acknowledging what makes you feel safe. And if you want to shift, again, shift the way to new potential, shift the paradigm that you are living in, shift your own experience, maybe challenge yourself to find a little bit more safety and a little bit more comfort in the things that are shifting in your life. And if that feels tough for you, of course, you do have creature comforts available to you. So be willing to maybe spend a day in, spend a night in, cozy up with a blanket, light a candle, do things that are going to help bring you back into a sense of security and safety within your body. And if you have to utilize, again, creature comforts for that, that's completely okay. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you need to do whatever is going to be necessary to allow you to enjoy the present moment exactly as it is, even if it feels like it's a little bit challenging or like the timing of things. I guess if you're feeling a little bit like unearthed right now, you need to reground yourself. My dear Taurus, you need to reground yourself. Pentacles cards, anytime these are pulled, Pentacles is all about this like practicality, this earth energy. So getting back into your body and allowing yourself to feel and experience that there is magic available to you, I think will be your best bet for this upcoming week, my dear Taurus. So I feel called to close out at this point. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this video was helpful, please leave a little thumbs up so that I know that it resonated. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I do these readings every single week free of charge, so you're welcome to leave a donation. Please tap the subscribe button. Anytime that you need guidance, you are invited to tune in with these readings. Make sure that you check out your sun, your moon, your rising, and your north node if you want as much guidance as physically possible. And finally, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at alexab.alchemy. So if you have questions or want to reach out or shoot me a message, that is another really good place that you guys can connect with me. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all so much, my dear beautiful Taurus, and have a beautiful rest of your week. Have a good one.